So that's way too close to my face. Oh my god. People have finally moved into my dorm. I just got back from traveling to Manchester today, and there were like shoes out by the vent. Like obviously someone had been here, but I haven't seen them yet, and I feel really awkward. So it is currently Sunday night. It's about 10 p.m. And I start classes tomorrow. But I start classes tomorrow and I'm super nervous. I'm excited because I think it's going to be really fun, and I'm excited to meet people in my field of study. My first class is dance theater, which is going to be a little outside of my comfort zone. I've already had to do a reading for it, which was lots of stuff that I didn't really know anything about. But I'm very worried that I'll go into this class and be way dumber than everybody else, and that'll be very obvious. I don't really know what the expectations are of me the first day. And then later that evening I have history, which I think will be the first time in my life that I'm ever in a lecture hall. So it'll be very different and very interesting, and I'm insanely nervous and worried that the standards here are going to be a little bit above what I'm used to, but I'm also very excited to see how everything goes. I'm on my way to my first day of classes. I'm on my way to the shuttle that will then take me to the proper campus, because otherwise it would be a 45-minute walk. Here we go. I'm walking back from my dance class now. I have a lot of feelings about it at this moment. Just a lot of feelings about being a student in general, but I'll talk about that more when you can hear me. I've never been in a lecture hall this big, or a lecture hall in general. So I had my first classes today, and they were interesting. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit hard. I had a lot of moments of anxiety and self-doubt and all of that stuff. You know, I had my dance class at 10 a.m. and God, I almost got lost trying to get there because it's on like this different campus. I got on the shuttle and everything was fine, and then it dropped us off and I realized I had no idea where to go, and I had looked at the map, I had it in front of me. I really thought that I could figure it out, but it was not straightforward, and I went into this building that they dropped us off in front of, and I was like, hi, I'm looking for this building, can you tell me where it is? They're like, no, we don't know where that is. Cool. They kind of pointed me in where they thought the right direction was. I was like, okay. So I headed over there, and I ran into two people who looked like students, and they didn't know where I was going either, but luckily one of them was like, if you go in this building, there should be a receptionist in there. And then I went up to that building and realized it was the one I was looking for, but I seriously was in the middle of the street ready to have a breakdown because I thought I was going to miss my first class and not know how to get there. Then that class was kind of strange. It's this theater dance class, and think of the most stereotypical artsy-fartsy theater class where people are just kind of moving and making noise and crawling around the room, and that's what it was. And it's not bad, and I'm not ragging on it because I know firsthand that those sorts of classes can end up being really beneficial in the end. It was just very strange. It was also hard because everyone in that class clearly already knew each other, and when I came in, they were all standing in a circle talking. There wasn't really room for me to move into the circle and talk to them, and I wasn't gonna wedge my way in, so I just sort of stood off to the side, which maybe that's my fault, but it was kind of isolating and nerve-wracking, but I didn't let it get in the way of how the rest of the class went. I tried to be brave and daring as we were crawling and running across the floor, but I really liked the teacher for that class, so that's good. Then I had a huge break in my day after that and met up with my friends, and both of them kind of have a mess with their schedules. They have classes that they're trying to drop and classes they're trying to add. There's not really anyone to help with that sort of thing, or no information on how we can get help. So luckily I'm not dealing with any of that. So we were all just kind of complaining about stuff. Then I had a 6 o'clock history lecture. I've never been in a class that was a lecture hall situation. My biggest class at Loyola was probably 26 people. and this was easily 100, and that was really crazy and kind of overwhelming. It would have been fine if I had known someone, but it's just, again, that feeling of like isolation and being the odd man out. Then on top of that, it was a history class, which is not my major, if you didn't know that. I was kind of like, what am I getting myself into? We were presented with a lot of information, and it wasn't anything that I was like, oh my god, I have no idea what's going on, but it was just like a lot of, oh, okay, this is gonna be a very heavy class. But I think it'll be fine once I kind of get used to it. That class meets like 3 times a week, whereas my other classes only meet once a week. My schedule works, so I have the dance class Monday mornings, the history lecture Monday evenings, no class Tuesday, no class Wednesday, a Shakespeare class in the middle of the day Thursday, and then back-to-back a history lecture, then seminar. But for the most part, my schedule is very open, which is nice because it leaves me a lot of time to do these assignments and readings that I think are gonna take a lot more time than I'm used to doing. But yeah, I spent a lot of the day feeling kind of nervous and overwhelmed, and I don't really know what to do to solve my problem because it's just like, I think it just takes getting used to, so it's just gonna take me going to these classes and doing it and getting in a rhythm, so it's like frustrating because there's no immediate solution. A lot of my moments in class were kind of the moments that I feared so much about when I was coming here. You know, I talked a lot in the first video about being afraid of not having friends and feeling isolated, and that's a lot of how I felt today. But it was all okay because at the end of the day, I had friends to go back to. I had people that I could go to and talk to and share my feelings with, and who also had feelings about the day, and that really makes all the difference. If I had had this day of classes where I felt so stressed and overwhelmed, and then I just came back to my room and was by myself, I probably would have had a mental breakdown and cried and called all of my friends because I would have just needed some form of support, which I still ended up texting a bunch of people and being like, this is insane. But I feel very fortunate to already have friends here who I can go to and who I know are there at the end of the day. That's kind of my first day of classes. Hopefully by the end of this week I'll feel a little bit more secure with. Something else that is really stressing me out right now is my meal plan situation. So I have a meal plan because your girl can't cook, but at home, what a meal plan means is that I get like a certain amount of swipes into the dining hall each week, and once I'm in, I can get whatever I want, as much of it as I want, whatever. Structure here is that I get 55 pounds per week, and I can use that at various locations, like all the dining services on campus. I guess standardly a like entree with a side costs about 4 or 5 pounds, but then it costs extra to get anything else. Water, fruit, a dessert. Like I got a bottle of water with my dinner tonight, and the bottle of water alone was like 2 pounds. So I'm like kind of stressing about how I'm gonna pay for all of my food all the time. They say it's structured so that I should get 2 meals a day, 5 days out of the week. So like breakfast is easy to do in my room, you know, cereal or Pop-Tart or whatever. But then that leaves 4 meals out of the week where I sort of have to figure something else out, like cooking for myself or whatever, which is fine. It just involves like spending real money, which has me a little concerned right now. And I'm trying not to think about it too much, but also I don't want to like starve. And I that won't happen. I know that if there's ever a point where I like need extra money, my parents will send it to me and it'll be fine. I just don't want to have to do that because they're already giving me so much as it is. I already feel really grateful that they give me an allowance and that they are giving me a certain amount of money every couple of weeks so that I will have funds to buy food and do things. So I don't really want to ask them for too much more. And I know they're gonna watch this and they're gonna text me and be like, don't worry about it. But I know that we don't have just like an unlimited supply of money, and I don't want to take for granted any of the things that I'm given from them. And I don't want to not realize, you know, what the sacrifice is that they make to allow me to even be here in the first place, and to even go to college. So that's kind of where my head is at. Of all the days that I've been here, today has been the most stressful, but I know it'll be okay. I'm missing my friends at school a little bit more than I have in the past. Today I just kind of started thinking about how all their lives are going on while I'm here, and like it's gonna be super weird to come back and have missed all these things. And like there's a dumb part of me that is afraid that when I come back, people will have kind of moved on from my friendship, which like isn't how that works. But you know, we all have those stupid little voices in our head that tell us things that aren't true. But you know, throughout all of this, all of the stress and sort of more negative emotions that I've been feeling today, I sort of just remind myself of the same things that I reminded myself of right before I left. I listen to the Mary Poppins soundtrack a lot and just really listen to the words, and that gives me a sense of security. Like I mentioned, hyperfixation with certain characters really helps me get through things, and it's really been helping me here in the moments where I'm stressed or lonely or overwhelmed. The words that I keep focusing on are from the finale song in the newest movie, Nowhere to Go But Up, and I'm just kind of reminding myself that things are only going to get better, and they're not even that bad to begin with. Those words have been very key in my time here so far, and I think will continue to be something that I sort of lean on. So that's just day one. Luckily I have tomorrow off. I don't have classes. I plan to just go get some breakfast by myself in a nice area and do some readings that I have. So I'm just gonna kind of take some time to relax and try to alleviate some stress. So I'll let you know how that goes. So it is Tuesday. It is one of my days off. This morning I went to the little breakfast place I mentioned. It's called Boston Tea Party. I'm pretty sure that's going to become like a regular spot for me because I really like it. It's super vegetarian and vegan friendly, which actually I've noticed is a really big thing here, which is super cool. There's a lot of advertisements for veganism, and even within like the dining hall areas, they're like, why not try going vegan this January? I think they call it, like, I think there's like a sort of campaign going on here called Veganuary. I see a lot about it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I really like that breakfast spot. So I went there today and just sat for a few hours eating, but then also doing homework. Like I was doing the readings that I need to do for the upcoming weeks. That'll probably be something I do probably every Tuesday or Wednesday. Then I also did laundry, which is all hanging up behind me because it cost £2, which is roughly like $2.75 American dollars or something like that, just to do one cycle. That doesn't even include drying. So that's ridiculous, and I am not going to pay more money to dry my clothes. So they're all just gonna chill there and air dry. There's not really a good place to put them in my room, but that's the best I can do. Last night, I met my flatmates, finally. I went into the kitchen to make myself some tea, and two of them were there, and then another one came in while we were all talking. They're all really, really nice. One of them is named Maury. She's studying nursing or becoming a doctor or something medical like that. Then there was another girl who I feel terrible, but I cannot remember her name. But she was really, really nice. She's actually in my history class, I found out. And when I told her that, she offered to like walk with me to and from class in the future and like get dinner afterwards and all this stuff. So she's really, really sweet. And they were both just asking me, you know, how I was finding Birmingham and questions about the differences between America and here, and especially the differences between universities. And then this guy came in. I think his name was Alex. But I say that and I doubt myself. But he was also really cool. He's studying chemistry, and the girl whose name I can't remember is studying history. And then I guess there's another person who lives here, but they said none of them ever really see him. But yeah, they're all super, super nice, and I was so glad. One of the first nights here, had a nightmare about meeting my flatmates. In the dream, I walked into the kitchen and they were all there and like barely acknowledged the fact that I came in. Like in my dream, they literally went and then just like went back to talking. And then when I tried to engage in them, they like could not be bothered. Like they did not want me there. And they were like really rude. That was still when no one was here. And I woke up from that nightmare being like, I hope that's not what happens. And it totally wasn't at all. Tomorrow will also probably be a chill day. I'm gonna do some grocery shopping, maybe do some more reading because there's a lot of it. Each week it seems like each class has like one or maybe two required texts and then like 10 recommended texts, and I don't want to walk into these classes being dumb and proving everyone right about Americans, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can with that. So today was kind of a weird day. I didn't have class until 3 today. I had my Shakespeare class at 3, so I had a lot of the morning just kind of to myself, and you know, I didn't have classes the past 2 days, which like it's really nice that through most of my week I don't have to get up early. But you know, I let myself sleep in a little bit this morning, and then I did some homework. I, you know, watched some TV that I wanted to watch, and then I like had all this time just like on my hands with like nothing to do. So I was just kind of like sitting around in my room, kind of bored, a little lonely. And it's hard because, you know, my two friends who I really hang out with the most have like class and stuff during that time. I just wasn't really sure what to do with myself, and like started just feeling a little bit lonely, kind of missing home a little bit. Today's the first day that I felt like a little bit homesick. Like just when I was walking to class and stuff, I was thinking about how nice it would be to be home with my parents. It'd be better if it was warm outside, to be honest with you. The weather here is kind of miserable. To be honest, it's worse in Kansas right now because Kansas has like a bunch of snow and I hate the snow. But it's just really cold here and like windy and rainy. Today wasn't rainy. Yesterday was awful. Today was at least sunny, but it was still so freaking cold. And like if it were nice out, I could like take that time where I'm not doing anything and just go outside and sit at the park and walk around and do stuff like that, and I love it, but it's too cold for any of that, and I'm a wimp when it comes to the cold anyways, which I have to hand it to the girls who live here. I see so many girls walking around with like skirts and nothing but tights. I can't even have my ankles showing because it gets so freaking cold. Like I have to have every conceivable part of my body covered. So yeah, anyways, I was feeling kind of weird, and then I went to my Shakespeare class, and it was better than my dance class because the people actually talked to me and went out of their way to introduce themselves and talk to me about the fact that I'm an exchange student. I'm still a little bit worried about the workload. It's just so different. Everything here is so different than what I'm used to. I was leaving the Shakespeare class just feeling kind of like not great. I'm kind of sad, but then I went and got dinner with my friends and it made me feel a lot better, and it just made me feel better to be with them. Even though I'm feeling kind of down right now, not too worried because I know this weekend I'm going to London and then Stratford-upon-Avon, and I'm gonna have a really good time and things are just gonna get better. I just have to keep that in mind. Even though I'm feeling a little bit down, there's nowhere to go but up. Yeah, I hate myself too. So today wasn't the best day, but it wasn't terrible, and I'm just gonna have to find some things to sort of fill my time. And honestly, probably once classes really start, I'll be regretting that I said that because I'll have so much homework that I have to do. Hopefully tomorrow's a little better. So I am happy to report that today was definitely a better day. Definitely the reason that I was so sad and just in a bad mood yesterday was because of the fact that I hadn't really done anything and didn't get to be around people a whole lot, which is interesting because like I'm definitely an introvert, definitely need my time alone to like recharge, but you know, I still get lonely. So today I had my second history lecture and my first history seminar. So like the seminar is just like a smaller group of people from that class, and it was really good. I really like my professor for that. She's a PhD student, really nice, really chill. She was very much like, even if you can't do the readings for the week or whatever, still come, still contribute. So I felt better there. After that, I went and got lunch with a girl that I met here who's from here, and that was really fun. I really loved that. Her name is Esme. She's super funny and sweet, and I get along with her really well, so that was cool. Then after that, I just went to a little lounge with Katie and Jim, and we sort of did homework, and then Katie and I booked a trip to Poland, which is like freaking crazy. I didn't think that I was gonna get to travel anywhere like that, but Katie found some really cheap flights, and I booked an Airbnb, which I've never stayed in an Airbnb before. It's all kind of exciting. So that'll be at the beginning of February, and I'm really excited for that. And then we went to this like exchange social event that was like a pizza and karaoke night. We went because we were like, free pizza, absolutely, but then it was like this really tiny space with lots of people and like super crowded, like you couldn't even like move anywhere, and I got like real stressed out real fast, and the karaoke was awful. And so Katie and I were like, well, let's leave. So I just got back from that, and then it started freaking snowing when I was walking back, like huge chunks of snow that very quickly turned into just ice. So that's why my hair's all wet and like stringy from all of that. But now I'm back in my room. I'm just gonna eat a little bit, watch some TV, and then tomorrow I go to London, and I'm so freaking excited about. To be honest, I will probably cry at some point during the day, just because London is like this iconic place in my head of just where like I've always wanted to be. I'll just feel like I'm in all of my favorite movies. So I'm very excited. Not so excited that I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to get there, but still very excited. I think I'm getting the hang of being here. Classes will take a little bit more getting used to, but they'll be over so quickly. It's been a good week. And then the next that I update you will be our trip to London. So I'm super excited. Take me. Oh, I should have gone through the park down there. Oh well.